Well, folks, welcome back to the Mineral Resources Review 2025. Today's thought leadership is brought to us by WSP. I have someone on the podcast today who's no stranger to the podcast. However, he has a much bigger role than he had the last time that he was here. And it's quite a mouthful. I'm going to let Lynn introduce himself and tell us what portfolio it is that he's responsible for.
Yeah, and Jerry, I guess the last time I was on your podcast, it was a casual shirt. So now that I'm in a ministerial role, I've dressed up for this. So I am the Minister for Jobs, Growth, Rural Development, Immigration, and Francophone Affairs. So jobs growth, you're asking what's it all about. So two aspects there. The growth side is similar to what was done with the old IBRD. So the innovation, we have all the innovation grants, business development. So our department handles all of that. We have a lot of the job grants. That a lot of that is flow through from federal government. Our department manages it. We have the immigration portfolio. So again, that is, and the reason that was done is, I ran an industry association there, so it's sort of like in this role, running or almost overseeing multiple industry associations. And then the big thing when I ran an industry association there, the two key challenges was capital and labor. So, having the industry side with all the various government grants and programs, business development side, mixed in with immigration, we feel is a good synergy, to allow some of our companies, medium-sized companies, smaller companies, to grow.
Well, Lynn, for those who don't know, Lynn, 30 years in the Canadian Navy.
Yeah.
And I think your fuel budget was probably larger than the entire Newfoundland budget.
No, let's not get...
no, that's too far?
Yeah, that's too far.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I can tell you this, that your experience is very interesting, and I'm really excited to see you in the portfolio that you're in, elected to the government. You've worked incredibly hard. Tell us what it means to you to be part of the government in Newfoundland right now.
I think overall, Jerry, it's where we are at this moment in time, right? So, and it's reflected in my district, and I think that's a snapshot as well that's mirrored across the province. So, here at the Mineral Resource Review, the mining show, so, we have two miners here that are in play, and that's with Maritime Resources who are about to be bought out by Newfoundland. So another, surging mining company here in the province, and Firefly. So the old Ramler mine, just to the Mings Bight, that's now 200 people on site. Next spring they'll start a ramp up. Within a couple of years after that, they're open to get to 600 to 700 on site. So these are significant economic catalysts.
Yeah.
So our interest here in this show, is engaging some of the suppliers, the medium-sized companies. How do we help them potentially scale? And then for, some of the miners themselves, labor challenges. How do we help them, with some of the hard-to-reach, like metallurgical, geologists, right? So some of that possibly could be immigration. Some of that is how do we help facilitate growing that investment in education in the province.
Yeah. Well, we met last time you were on the podcast. We were in Bay Verde at that mining show, and I was blown away. Living in Newfoundland my whole life, I've been all over, but I hadn't been in Bay Verde. What's happening there, Lynn, and the deep roots in the mining sector is very exciting.
Yeah.
And I know that's in your district.
Yeah.
It's like 200 people. We interviewed a lady at LaSalle, now that's in Stephenville, but they're talking about hiring 200 people for 24 years.
Yeah.
My God, how do you...
great point, Jerry. So we have to look at, some of these mines, like you go across the show here, are generational opportunities. So like Firefly, like they're scaling to be a multi-generational opportunity. So that's the same now with Equinox and Central. That's the same with Topora in Lab. So how do we set the conditions then from an education and from supplier development to be able to support that growth? The other thing with it, in talking to Topora and even Fireflight and the impact on the Baver Peninsula, is then how does government support municipal capital works for growth? Like we're gonna be challenged not just with labor, I guess, but with that labor, where do they live?
Yeah.
Right. So there's that whole integrated piece for housing, childcare support.
Yeah.
Right. So recreation, amenities, etc. So so these are good problems because they are growth problems.
Yeah. Well, Lynn, I know we're on for 6 minutes here now, and you got a government to run.
Yep. When I'm running it, I'm just running one department.
You're running one department, but I know this, folks. This gentleman has spent an entire career giving back to his country, and now he's stepping up and giving back to his province. You're incredibly respected in the Navy, and I'm excited, Lynn, for where you and your government are going to take this. Is there anything you'd just like to say?
No, it's early days. almost drinking from the fire hose for in briefs, but I'm infused with the opportunities that lie ahead of us, and a lot of this is where we are today here at mining, but it's multi-sector based. It's not just mining, a primary industry. It's my own district as well. We have a rebounding fishery. Tech is an enabler across all of this. We have opportunities in forestry and agriculture and tourism, and so that's where my department is helping some of those smaller, medium-sized companies grow and scale to be able to meet the capacity for some of these opportunities in front of us.
Well, folks, thank you, Lynn. Thank you for your service. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.